In the last few videos, I presented some findings on how we devalue happiness and why we do it. Specifically, I showed you that we devalue happiness by succumbing to the fundamental happiness paradox. And I also discussed 3 reasons why we devalue happiness, namely harboring negative beliefs about happiness, for example, that happiness is fleeting, failing to define happiness in concrete terms, and medium maximization. In this video, I want to talk about how to avoid the tendency to devalue happiness. In other words, I want to talk to you about the first habit of the highly happy, the habit that can help us overcome the first deadly happiness sin. The first habit of the highly happy is prioritize but don't pursue happiness. What exactly does it mean to prioritize but not pursue happiness? What it means is to consciously make the choice of giving happiness a higher priority over other goals in your life. You do this by reminding yourself on a regular basis, and particularly before you make important decisions, about what you ultimately want out of life. If you're like most people, what you ultimately want in life, the reason why you do anything and everything that you do is so that you can lead a happier, more fulfilling and a more meaningful life. If you remind yourself of this before you make your decisions, it turns out that you won't be as susceptible to the fundamental happiness paradox. That is, you won't sacrifice happiness for the sake of other goals as much. Now, 3 of my colleagues, Kelly Goldsmith from Northwestern University, David Gall from the University of Illinois at Chicago, and Lauren Cheatham, a PhD student at Stanford University, and I have conducted several studies in which we tested what happens when people remind themselves to make happiness-enhancing decisions on a regular basis. In one study, which was conducted on employees from 7 different Fortune 500 companies, we divided the employees into 2 groups. One group received an email every day for a whole week. The email gently reminded them to make happiness-enhancing decisions. The second group did not receive any such email. Then we asked both groups of employees to tell us how happy they were at the end of the week. As you can see from the graph, what we found was that at the end of the week, those who received the daily email reminding them to make happiness-enhancing decisions were far happier than those who did not receive any emails. We found similar results in 3 other studies that we conducted. These results suggest that reminding yourself to make happiness-enhancing decisions can significantly boost your happiness levels. Does this mean that the more we remind ourselves to make happiness-enhancing decisions, the happier we'll be? Not really. Although reminding yourself to make happiness-enhancing decisions is a good thing, you shouldn't actively monitor or chase happiness, because when you do, it's